Hey everybody, this is David, welcoming you to a new episode of Watch Me Draw, and today's topic is my favorite supervillain. Ready? So a little while back, I made a video about my favorite superhero, and pretty much basically as soon as it went live, I had people asking me the obvious follow-up question, who is your favorite supervillain? Now just like my favorite superhero, that's a pretty easy question for me to answer. My favorite supervillain is Dr. Otto Octavius, aka Dr. Octopus. Now, that's not to say I think Doc Ock is the best supervillain. He's not. He's just the one that I happen to like the most. I do, however, think he is a good character and a good villain. And what makes him such a good villain is how he complements and parallels Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Now, in the 50 plus years of the character's history, there have been lots of versions and changes and retcons and different alterations, but the most classic version has a lot of similarities to the life and experiences of Peter Parker. Otto Octavius was also a brilliant scientific mind. He also had a doting mother figure. He was bullied and teased and a bit of an outcast. And he was also part of a freak accident with radiation that gave him incredible powers. He also had a choice to make. But where Peter Parker found that being selfish with his gifts caused more harm than good, and he decided to help those around him, even those that were mean and dismissive of him before, Otto Octavius went the other route. Once he had his arms grafted onto him, Octavius basically had the thought of, okay, now let's show those peons who the real boss is. There's a conflict of ideologies, and they both sort of have a point. I mean, the audience is supposed to identify with the altruism and nobleness of Spider-Man, but Doc Ock isn't portrayed as just a mustache-twirling force of evil. He has a motivation, a very human motivation. In truth, he's driven by his ego. After being put down for so long, he wants to rise up and stand tall, but he keeps trying using the worst ways possible, which just makes everyone look at him worse, which just makes him try even harder. There's a sense of class and dignity and a boasting to Doc Ock that really kind of meshes well with the average, everyman nature of Spider-Man. On the one hand, you have the humble hero, and on the other, the egotistical villain. They pair up and match up very, very well, and that also extends to their powers. There's a long history of antagonists who are basically just dark versions of the hero, especially in superhero comics. Characters who can do everything the hero can because they basically are the hero, just bad. Superman has Bizarro, The Flash has Reverse Flash, Doctor Strange has Baron Mordo, heck, even Spider-Man has Venom. And when these characters meet to fight, it's always great because you know what the powers are and what they can do, so you can't wait to see how each character uses them and counters the other and sort of plans around that. Doc Ock is working along the same lines, but just a little bit altered. There's nothing that Spider-Man can do Doc Ock can't, and he can do it without just being a carbon copy of Spider-Man. Spider-Man can cling to walls and walk on any surface. Doc Ock's claws can latch and let him do the same thing. Spider-Man is super strong. Doc Ock's arms can lift tons. Spider-Man can sense incoming attacks with his spider sense, and Doc Ock's arms kind of give him the same advantage. Again, different versions vary, but some have him with cameras in each tentacle that let him see around him, but even without those, just having 4 arms around gives him that extra sense of spatial awareness, which gives him the same kind of advantage. Spider-Man's webs can attack from a distance, ensnare objects. Doc Ock's tentacles give him an insane amount of reach, and they can grab and wrap up anything around him. And Otto Octavius may not be the most athletic guy in the world, but 4 fast limbs let him match Spider-Man's speed and agility just as well. That makes their conflicts always entertaining. It's not just the clash of ideologies going on, but the literal fights, the fist-to-fist, the web-to-claw smackdowns. I've said it before, comics are a visual medium, and seeing this dumpy, overweight guy with mechanical appendages up against a pure acrobat of a fighter make for some of the best looking comic pages that you're going to come across. Dr. Octopus is a really unique character, and honestly I think it's kind of fitting that he's even an octopus. Octopi and spiders each have 8 legs, and I almost feel like it's a perfect way to describe them. 2 beings with similar attributes, but that could end up so radically different. Doc Ock has the emotional baggage that Peter Parker has, but instead of being above it, he kind of wallows in it. He takes the other road, the road of aggression and bitterness and anger. He matches Spider-Man not just in background and ability, but has such a complete alternate outlook. It's easy to see how one goes good and one goes bad. Doc Ock is a great villain because he mirrors Peter Parker and Spider-Man, but it's not a perfect reflection. He's like a circus funhouse mirror. You can still see the same basic thing there, but it's been warped and distorted to become something wholly different and monstrous. And that's why Dr. Octopus is my favorite supervillain. Plus, there's just something great that one of the deadliest men in Marvel Comics is a fat guy with 4 metal arms and a bad haircut. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can find the completed drawing posted on my Twitter or Instagram feed, which you can follow at DFDFleming. If you have an idea for something that you want me to draw and discuss, feel free to let me know by asking me a question in the comments below, or again, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, ask me there. And if you like what I draw, be sure to check out my comic, The Adventures of Miss Rocket, every Monday and Thursday. So once again, I do want to thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you again with another video, and until next time, I hope you take care.